what are some of the best tips that you have for people that are struggling or looking to improve gut health in general?
First of all, is to cut out any triggers. You don't want any symptoms, and that's through diet. I feel like there's so many people who will kind of like force themselves to eat, or not force, they will happily eat something that will cause issues after they had the meal just because it tastes nice or they enjoyed it or whatever. And I think that mentality you have to step away from, because you're not doing yourself any good. And you're just causing more damage. So that's the first thing. You have to make some sacrifices. Like you can't expect to heal in the same environment you got sick in. So, which is a classic saying, and it's true. So that will be the first thing. Adding more protein to your diet, quality protein, such as animal meat, fish, animal fats, because protein is the building blocks of our cells, and it will help to strengthen the gut lining, as well as fats will help to help the gut and for your hormones to work efficiently, and etc. And also cut down on the alcohol. It's really bad. Like a glass of wine here and there, but sadly, if you're like really serious about healing your gut, like alcohol should be put away for a little bit at least. And also, one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that you have to, if you have negative emotions or are going through trauma or have unresolved trauma, it's very important to work through that, because you have no idea that how much it can impact your health. I've had clients who had unresolved trauma, and we could do anything with diet, nothing really worked, but as soon as they resolve the trauma, it just become a new person. So that's also a really important thing, because it is a stressor. You have to limit any stressor in your life. So that's a big thing as well that people don't realize.
Yeah, I could second that, because so many people do have that constant stress. So they're in a sympathetic state. When you're in a sympathetic state and you eat, you don't digest as well. You don't have peristalsis, you have poor digestion, and everything starts to go down. Then you have symptoms, bloating, everything else. You're wondering, is it what I'm eating? And sometimes it's not. You may be eating incredibly healthy and still have that, because you're eating in a stressed state and you don't even pick up on it. And if you just got yourself, dealt with the trauma, with the emotions that are always on and triggering you constantly, then you'd see that improvement. So I always say it's not so much what you eat. Of course, that's important, but it's how and why you eat it too. So eating it in a peaceful state, slowly, with enjoyment, in a parasympathetic state, you're going to have much better digestion.
100%.
What do you feel about things like probiotics, fermented foods for gut health?
Again, depending on the person. So there's evidence showing that eating probiotic foods, such as fermented foods, will benefit your gut flora, your microbiome better than prebiotic foods. So you will get more diverse flora. But if you have SIBO, for instance, dysbiosis, that can cause gut issues such as bloating, cramping, etc. So for those people, it's not that good. But then again, you can use probiotics, but it's knowing what kind of probiotics to take. It could be a spore probiotic, which is really good, or even a Saccharomyces boulardii to help to get rid of any of the unwanted bacteria. But it really depends on the person. And I think there's so many people now who just like run and buy probiotics and just take it for no reason. And it's like, you have to figure out why you're taking it, and what kind of strains there are. Is there enough strains, and also how to take it, when to take it. So there's a lot of things that can be quite complicated. But yeah, I think I'm a fan of both, but again, depending on the person.
Yeah, it's always dependent on the person. And it's interesting how you speak to so many and you do get that, I'm on probiotics, and they don't even recognize that they're actually living organisms. And if you don't change your diet, they're just going to die anyway, because you're not feeding them. You're basically starving them and feeding the bad, bacteria and microbiome that love the sugary stuff, the candida, all of that. So you do have to see it as every time you pop a probiotic pill, you're ingesting living things that then you need to actually feed and take care of. So it's not like you just put them in there and it's all better, and keep eating crappy and doing bad things and creating an environment where they can't even live. It's basically
Exactly.
a wasted pill then if you don't change some of the actions around ingesting probiotics.
Correct.